They've been playing around quite a while. I think they center around Cottage Grove, Oregon. So let's give a big welcome to Long Distance Bluegrass. Here you go.
And it rocks, my children are gone, all my dear children are gone. In a field of sugar cane stands an old abandoned cabin with a blue rocking chair. It's stained with milk and whiskey. It tells the family history, all the joy and the misery in that blue rocking chair. And it rocks, my children are gone, all my dear children are gone. From the Blue Delta stable, he rocked to the music every Saturday night. Through 6 generations, all the kin and relation, till the water rose around them and they left it all behind. And it rocks, my children are gone, all my dear children are gone. That blue chair a-rockin', and the old folks a-talkin' of the troubles they shared. The rhythm of the cryin', the laughin' and lyin', all the livin' and dyin' in that blue rockin' chair. And it rocks, my children are gone, all my dear children are gone. Children are gone, all my dear children are gone. Plenty of room to dance up here, come on. everybody. Welcome to our portion of the evening. We're really happy to be here. We are the Long Distance Bluegrass Band. My name's Kirk Malinik, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly tonight. We're really happy to be here. I hail from Florence. That's Michael Danielle on the banjo for you. Betsy Mark-Zinkowski on the upright bass. Jerry Zumwalt on the mandolin. You're going to be hearing from all of us over the course of the evening. Thank you to Ron and Kathy and all the volunteers. How about that cranky and the cow tippers, everybody? Come on, give it up. That's right. Very good. All right, we're going to feature Betsy on this next one. We play bluegrass and beyond, a little bit off the rails sometimes. You'll recognize this one by Chris Stapleton. One called If It Hadn't Been for Love.
1, 2, 3, 4. Never would have hitchhiked to Birmingham if it hadn't been for love. Never would have caught the train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have run through the blinding rain without $1 to my name if it hadn't been for love. Never would have gone to that side of town if it hadn't been for love. Never would have took a mind to track him down if it hadn't been for love. Never would have loaded up a 44, put myself behind a jailhouse door if it hadn't been for love. On cold walls against my will, at least I know he's lying still. 4 cold walls without parole. Lord have mercy on my soul. Never would have seen the trouble that I'm in if it hadn't been for love. Wouldn't have blown like a wayward wind if it hadn't been for love. Nobody knows better than me. I wouldn't be wishing I was free if it hadn't been for love. 4 cold walls against my will, at least I know he's lying still. 4 cold walls without parole. Lord have mercy on my soul.
Billy Strings.
Savior of Bluegrass. Never would have hitchhiked to Birmingham if it hadn't been for love. Never would have caught the train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have loaded up a 44, put myself behind a jailhouse door if it hadn't been for love. If it hadn't been been if it hadn't been for love. If it hadn't been for love.
Thank you, folks. Thank you for that kind applause. That's Betsy Mark-Zinkowski all the way down from Sweet Home, or all the way up from Sweet Home, I should say, with her husband Mark Z and the cat Jasper. I think Jasper's our unofficial mascot. What do you think, Betsy?
Yeah.
I just decided that tonight. I have no authority to decide anything, but I just decided. Well, it's time for the Bluegrass National Anthem now. You'll recognize it. Perhaps you'll want to sing the chorus with us. One called Fox on the Run. She walks through the corn, leading down to the river. Her hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all of that a poor boy could give her and left me to die like a fox on the run. Like a fox on the run. Everybody knows the reason for the fall. How a woman tempted man down in Paradise's fall. This woman tempted me, then took me for a ride. Now like the lonely fox, boys, I need a place to hide. She walks through the corn, leading down to the river. Her hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all of that a poor boy could give her and left me to die like a fox on the run. Like a fox on the run. Let's drink a glass of wine to fortify our soul. We'll talk about the world and the friends we used to know. There was a string of girls that put me on the floor. Now the game is nearly over, boys, hounds are at the door. She walks through the corn, leading down to the river. Her hair shone like gold in the hot morning sun. She took all of that poor boy could give her and left me to die like a fox on the run. Like a fox on the run. Like a fox on the run. Thank you, folks. That's Michael Danielle on the banjo and the lead vocals there. It's one you're going to recognize from back in the early 2000s when Oh Brother, Wherefore Art Thou came out. And Man of Constant Sorrow, we don't need Dan Kaminsky, we don't need George Clooney, we've got Michael Danielle. Man of Constant Sorrow. In constant sorrow all through his days, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised. The place where he was born and raised, that's right.
no pleasure here on earth I found. For in this world I bound to ramble, I have no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help him now. That's right. It's fare thee well, my own true lover. I never expect to see you again, for I'm bound to ride this northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon his train. Perhaps he'll die upon his train. Strings again. You can bury me in some deep valley. For many years there I may lay. Then you may learn to love another while I am sleeping in my grave. While he is sleeping in his grave. Maybe your friends think I'm just a stranger, a face you never will see no more. But there's one promise that is given: I'll meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore.
Well, thank you, folks. We appreciate that kind applause. What a beautiful evening. My goodness. I just look around, I think American Dream right here. This is just lovely to be with you. What a beautiful place. What a nice evening. We're going to grip up a little bit on this one, all the way up to B, I believe. We're going to be in B. We'll get Jerry back up to sing a really grassy tune. And we're going to do Cumberland River now, Michael. Cumberland River in the key of B. All right, everybody. Cumberland River. All right, here we go. It's a barn burner. Well, we don't want to, set anything on fire. Things are a little dry, I guess, but not quite sure where the dial was on the forestry advisory today. But anyway, here we are.
Kentucky in the blinding fog, on the river raft, hauling seed and log. Down around Selena, saw the sky turn blue, headed for the Southland with the six-man crew. Cumberland River, carry me on down the line to sunny Tennessee. Sure the maize are wet, lonesome as can be. Cumberland River, let me feel that southern breeze. On the river, the weather had got rough. Headed for the south bank, we hit a big rock bluff. Like a devil swung that boat around. 2 miles south of Clarkston, made its April sound. Cumberland River, carry me on down the line to sunny Tennessee.
Tennessee. Shirley May's a wet, lonesome as can be. Cumberland River, let me feel that southern breeze.
One more night to travel, then I draw my pay. Well, I'm headed down to Nashville there to see my Shirley May. With a can of sorghum and a sack of flour, $15 wages and 7 cents an hour.
Cumberland River, carry me on down the line to sunny Tennessee. Shirley May's a waiting, lonesome as can be. Cumberland River, let me feel that southern breeze. Well, thank you, folks. I don't know, Jerry, I don't think we've ever done it faster, but I've never liked it more than that one right there. He might need to shake out his hand a little bit after that one, I'm just telling you. This next tune is fairly new to the band. Michael and Jerry just do such a lovely kind of brother harmony on this. Jerry has a quick little backstory about it. It's one called California Cotton Fields.
Well, the backstory tonight is my sister's out there, and as kids we used to do music together. We got started that way. And a lot of our family history parallels this song. And you'll figure it out as it goes, because our parents grew up in the Depression and they had some rough times during those years. And this one's called California Cotton Fields. It's about living in farm labor camps and some real tough times.
1, 2, 3, 4.
My drifting memory goes back to the spring of '43, when I was just a child in Mama's arms. My daddy plowed the ground and prayed that someday he might leave this rundown Morgan's Oklahoma farm. Then one day I heard my daddy saying to my mama he had finally saved enough to go. California was his dream of paradise, for he had seen pictures in a magazine that told him so. California cotton fields, where labor camps were filled with worried men with broken dreams. California cotton fields, as close to wealth as Daddy ever came. Almost everything they had was sold or left behind, from Daddy's plow to the fruit that Mama canned. Some folks came to say farewell or see just what we had to sell. Some just came to shake my daddy's hand. That Model A was loaded down in California bound. A change of luck was just 4 days away. But the only change that I remember seeing in my daddy was when his dark hair turned to silver gray. California cotton fields, where labor camps were filled with worried men with broken dreams. California cotton fields, as close to wealth as Daddy ever came. Just 4 days away. But the only change that I remember seeing in my daddy was when his dark hair turned to silver gray. California cotton fields, where labor camps were filled with worried men with broken dreams. California cotton fields, as close to wealth as Daddy ever came.
I got to give you a quick story while we're getting all tuned up here. There's a Gillian Welch tune coming up. But back in my younger days, I'm 70 now, but in my early 20s, I was in forestry right out of school, working in the coastal plain of Carolina, North Carolina. Loblolly Pine Seed Orchard, and the fellows, most of the fellows there were fairly old at that point compared to me. They were in their 60s. There was one old boy there named Elmer Crisp. It's a true story. You get to know people when you work with them, and we're traveling to a little job site off the property there one day, and he says, "You know, Kirk, I'm a Christian man." I said, "Okay." And he said, "For many years I had a moonshine still back outside of my house there in the woods." And he said, for probably way too long, he said, I'd get up every morning, he said, and he held up his hands like this, and he said, "I'd have me a glass of moonshine to start the day." And I said, "Is that right?" And he said, "Yeah." And then he said, "One day, Kirk, I looked in the mirror and I said, Elmer, this is not a good idea." And so he stopped. And he said he thanked the Lord for helping him stop. But Gillian Welch actually wrote a very appropriate tune. I always think of Elmer when we sing it. It's one called "Tear My Still House Down." And that's what he did. No stone at my head, no flowers on my tomb, no gold-plated sign in a mama-pillared room. The only thing I want when they lay me in the ground, when I die, tear my still house down. Tear my still house down, don't let it go to rust. Don't leave no trace of the hiding place where I made that evil stuff. For all my time and money, no profit did I see. That old copper kettle was the death of me. When I was a child, way back in the hills, I laughed at those men who tended those stills. But that old mountain shine done caught me somehow. When I die, tear my still house down. Tear my still house down, don't let it go to rust. Don't leave no trace of the hiding place where I made that evil stuff. For all my time and money, no profit did I see. That old copper kettle was the death of me. Tell all your children that hell ain't no dream, and Satan, he lives in my whiskey machine. And in my time of dying, yes, I know just where I'm bound. When I die, tear my still house down. Tear my still house down, don't let it go to rust. Don't leave no trace of the hiding place where I made that evil stuff. For all my time and money, no profit did I see. That old copper kettle was the death of me. Yes, that old copper kettle was the death of me. Hey, thank you, folks. We appreciate that. I don't have a watch on. That way we can just keep on playing. But how about a big shout out to Mark on the sound out there for us tonight, everybody. Really appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much. We really do. We're going to get Betsy back up to sing a really cool tune now. Get all capoed up here. One called "Sweetheart of the Pines." TSC, everybody.
Written by Emmylou Harris and Paul Kennerly, but they did it slow. We're going to pep it up. 2, 3, 4. I used to run, I used to ramble out on the wild other side of town. Every night sweetheart of mine.
Well, we have one more for you tonight. Again, thanks to Ron and Kathy and Corral Creek for letting us come up tonight. Thank you for all of you for coming out. What a lovely event. Been a real honor to be invited and to play here for you this evening. Really appreciate it very much, and we hope to see you down the road somewhere. We're going to do our closing tune now. One that you don't want to sing on Valentine's Day or around your anniversary, around Christmas time, unless you have an ex, and you're going to find out why shortly. We're in A. Yeah, it won't be over you. This is a Cadillac Sky tune. Anybody remember Cadillac Sky from the 2000s? Maybe love that band. Wish they were still around, but we'd like to honor them with this song. Get all tuned up here. One called It Won't Be Over You. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. Prisoner of the moon. I might curse this world and yell at God, but it won't be over you. I might press this poison to my lips, drown myself in 90 proof, wash up on the rocks of an empty glass, but it won't be over you. I might walk the floor, I might climb the walls, honey, tears might fall like rain. In the sea of love, I may die of thirst before I call your name. Yes, someday this old heart of mine might break in two, but it won't be over you. No, it won't. Lock me up in a padded cell, call me crazy as a loon. Might be tortured by some true love lost, but it won't be over you. I might walk the floor, I might climb the walls, honey, tears might fall like rain. In the sea of love, I may die of thirst before I call your name. Yes, someday this old heart of mine might break in two, but it won't be over you. Numbered few. Yes, I'll have regrets, but when I hang my head, it won't be over you. I might walk the floor, I might climb the walls, honey, tears might fall like rain. In the sea of love, I may die of thirst before I call your name. Yes, someday this old heart of mine might break in two, but it won't be over you. Yes, someday this old heart of mine will break in two. It won't be over you. No, it won't be over you. Happy anniversary, honey. Hey, good night, everybody. We're the Long Distance Bluegrass Band. We've had a great time. We look forward to meeting all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Boy, that's what bluegrass is all about, isn't it? You know, you get just a good sound, good people, wonderful folks to sing to. You know, I don't know if this is really kosher or not, but every band